Right, hello, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, it's the second part of covering the Halifax High Line, part of the Queensbury lines, and I'm on the site of what was Pellon Station. This was the first station to be opened on this site. There isn't a lot left of it. That wall there is an original part of the railway station. There are some landmarks that we can go to. I'm going to put up a map as we go along so you can get a bit of bearings of what I'm looking at. So I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you what I can see. Now, in the last episode we came from Batterson Road, which is on the other side of these buildings here. That wall there is original, it ends there, and these were all sidings, and there was a railway line that went along the side of this building that you can see at the gable end there, along here. I'll put that map up now so you can see the end building that we're focusing on at the moment, and the railway line running across it up to the wall. And as you can see, it's all sidings. Looking back at the map, we can see there's a goods shed. That is approximately where that building is there. So we'll just go back to these streets. You can see these on the map. There's a lot of heavy redevelopment around here. It is an industrial estate now. So basically it's all been built up, filled in. There's our streets again. And that there is where, I think, more or less, where the goods shed was. Now we'll go to the other side of there and we'll pick up the station from that point. I've gone a little bit beyond where the goods shed was, which was approximately there, and you can see the curve on the road. Now there was a siding that followed that curve up to the back of those buildings which were up there, that housing estate. As you can see, that's all raised now, nothing to see, and we'll get to where the station was. Please forgive the noise, I am next to a busy road. That is an original wall for Pellon Station. I'll show you where the station was shortly. We've got the original gates still in position, and at that side there it was a busy railway station for the mills. And if we just look behind me here, we can see one here straight away already disused. We're not here to focus on this mill, we are here for the station. I've crossed the road because I want to get away from that traffic. As you can see, we've got some original ironwork up there. It doesn't look like I can see any at the bottom, but we do have that fancy ironwork there protecting the stonework, and that is the same at the other side. This is our entrance where we've come in. The mill was over the road. This was all cattle pens round here, and the line used to follow this road round, multiple lines really, and our shed, goods shed, was about where that building is there. And there is some photographs taken from roughly where I'm stood, so before we leave the station I'll do some photo fades. This is where the station actually was. Now, it was one of two stations. This was the first one to be opened, as I mentioned earlier, and this one opened on September the 5th, 1890. Now, it was proposed that this line would go straight through to Huddersfield, but it never did. It only went as far as St Paul's, which is what we covered in the first station. Again, this closed to passengers on the 1st of January 1917, and main reason that was done because of electric trams. Now we can see the original wall there, but that road behind there used to have trams running along it, and it was quicker to get anywhere on the trams than it was to use this railway line. If you wanted to go to Huddersfield, this line would add a half-hour journey time. Now, there isn't a great deal left of this station, and it remained open for goods up until the 27th of June 1960. But we can see through there shortly that there is a bridge. It had an island platform, and with the cattle pens that we've just mentioned, and then over there through that bridge it goes onto an embankment, but what is left are those buildings at the top there, which we will go around and see shortly. Those are stables, or were stables, for the railway line. Of course, there was no wagons at that time to move anything anywhere, or should I say lorries with engines, internal combustion engines, so they used to use horse and cart. So a lot of railway stations would have had horses and carts owned and run by the railways, and that is one of the few relics left standing on this railway station. Now I'm going to try and put through these bars here to see what we can see, because there is some photos stood here somewhere, and you can see roughly that bridge, and at the top of that bridge where there's that yellow graffiti, that's a different colour brick, and I will show you that from the top, because that had a stairway going down to the island platform that was Pellon Station. So I've been super cheeky and we've got special permission to come on here again. I'm not trespassing, I have sought permission, and I am stood where the island platform was. You can see where the railway station was up here, and there'd have been a line running down that side and some lines running down this side over into the goods yards up that way. But what we're interested in is this huge structure here. This is probably the third largest structure on the line. We'll also go to the other side after this, and when we look at the size of the ironwork on this thing, it is huge. And I know it's difficult to pick things up when you see things that are this big and you're trying to put them onto film. It's so difficult. Again, we've got this here. I'm not certain what they are for. I think they must be potentially to catch hot cinders, deflect them down back to the ground so they don't cause any hazard or anything. But that's where the train ran, down this side, and your platform was there. It looks in really good condition under here. Absolutely privileged to be allowed to come and have a look. Now I'm going to try and capture as much detail as this as possible. And we've got stone surrounding, we've got the plinth work at the top there, corrugated iron, huge girders. The other side is stone as well. If any of you model makers are out there and want to make this bridge, hopefully this footage may help you. Absolutely, this goes all the way along. There's not one at the other side, but we will cross over to the other side there. And this is an absolutely huge bridge. And that's our end, and we've got the angle at that side. That across there would have likely been a water pipe, a little bit further on a signal box and a bridge, but we'll go over there shortly. I have had to come on a different day to get this filming done, because I think I'm stood at the other side of that there the other day saying we couldn't get in here, but we actually have, and I have sought permission. I can't stress that enough, because people can't wait to point out you're trespassing, even if you're not, even if they don't understand trespass laws. But anyway, we've got this reinforcing here. Now I suspect that is also original. I mean, It doesn't look like that's been welded on afterwards to me. I may be wrong. And we've got one here as well, so no, that's cast with that. And then we'll go around the other side. And that's what that looks like there. So there's two of those in here. And then again, all stone and plinth work at that side. And we'll continue on the line over there. Now what I want to quickly draw your attention to is that piece of wood there. That could well be a genuine piece of wood from an old semaphore signal. The only one. Now here we are at the site of Pellon Station. It would have been built out onto this. This would never have been a grassed area. But here we can see a clear definition in the brickwork. This was the back of the station where the steps would lead you down onto the island platform. We've got some brickwork there with some ironwork forced into it there. We'll have a quick look over. So our island platform would have been here. We've just been over to them gates looking back this way. Cattle pens over there. Goods shed over there. Multiple lines splitting off. And up there we'll just have a quick look at what was the stables. So looking back again at where our station was stood, around here somewhere, with our steps down onto the island platform, that is quite a big bridge, almost tunnel, but it's a bridge. And there's the ironwork at the other side, which we'll get to shortly. Now these are what were the stables. So this is what's left of the stables. The gentleman who's working here has kind of let me on. These will be your gate posts in. Now our station was over this parapet wall here. And what we can do is we can have a look down and get the station from a different angle from up here. There'd have been an island platform down there, and that's where your stairs down would have been. Now to focus on the stables, all railways would have had stables nearby at some point, or most of them. As you can see, the original building is still here. And if we look on here, we have got a hoop there for tying horses up, an original feature. I'll go around that side there. We were just over there. This is what this side of the building looks like. Now as you can see, we've got a little step out there and we've got huge doorways here. I suspect this might have been a support for a crane that would have swung either side, and potentially a platform that came out for loading and unloading horse carts. A lot of changes to the outside of this building. I can't go on that side, I've not got permission to go over there, but I have here. But it is more or less a mirror reflection. You can see a bit of brickwork over there as an arch, a piece of brickwork here that was an arch, and that would have been original features. There is another section there that sticks out like this one, so I don't actually know if there would have been cranes balanced on those or if they were inside the building. Now I'd just like to thank the company for letting me on here. They're really polite, really nice people. I'm guessing if you're out in Halifax and you need somewhere to have a motorcycle fixed or your truck, come here. We'll just have a quick look over this way. That's our station. All these were the good yards, and then right over there beyond the chimney is heading back towards St Paul's, but we are going to be going this way. We're going to catch up the other side of the bridge. There is the gate open there, I will ask if I can come through and film the underside of this bridge. If I can't, then we'll be at the other side. Almost immediately from there, we have our first signs that we are on an embankment. We've got a bridge. This side stonework clearly visible, clearly remaining there. But then when we look at the other side, no stonework, but there is a fence and a garden. So we will investigate this. The stonework is in really good condition. So where does this bridge go? I suspect it goes off at an angle. We'll go down, we'll have a look, and we'll come back and we'll film the rest of this wall on it. We're going down, this is where we were, just up there. Now this is a huge, huge structure. It's difficult to see sometimes on video just how big some of these structures are and how far things are down there. I'll get down the structure and see what it actually is. Now I can't tell you how steep that was. You can see my footprints down there, and I slipped and went down, and I know somebody who will be very disappointed that I didn't film that. But this was a public footpath. It's all gone now. You can see the walls here, and this huge structure is for a public footpath. It used to be access for the workers for a mill that used to exist around here. I think it's a bit more that way actually, called Shroggs Wire Mill. So I'll get up to here and let us have a look at this huge, huge arch for a footpath. Now I can't stress the height on this thing. It is massive. 4 stories high, something like that. We've got a bit of repair work to the brickwork in here. And I was right, it does go off at a slight angle. I mean, just look at it. That's massive. Here we are, underneath this huge, huge arch. 4 stories high maybe. A bit of modern brickwork for repair, so it's still a used footpath. But all the mill workers would have come down here. Now I don't quite know why they built it that high when they do these things with a lot of infill. We'll get to the other side and we'll have a look back. Now I've made it to the top at the other side, and we can see we've got 5 course of brick around the arch. Beautiful brickwork here. Huge pillar there. And it looks like it's all been possibly lost at that side. So that's only small. We'll get onto the track bed. So I've made it on top of the bridge. This huge parapet wall that you see here, I wouldn't like to guess how long it is. Sometimes I think I should bring a tape measure and I'd be able to drop it down there, but I don't think I'd have a tape measure long enough, because that is more than 100 feet, I'm sure, which would make it pretty high. Beautiful arch underneath here. I'll hang you over to show you how deep that is down there. And it narrows, so it must be at the edge of a valley. And the wall at that side, the parapet wall, must only be 15-20 feet long, something like that. And I'll turn the camera around, I'll show you how wide this track bed is, because it is wide here. The 2 main tracks ran through there, and approximately where I'm stood, a couple of feet this way, there was another siding that went onto some buffers. There is a photograph, I think, somewhere of this section that we're about to go to after this bridge, in between the next one, and you can see the parapet walls of them both. I'm not going to be able to match it up because I can't stand where it is. If it's private land, and not only that, you won't be able to see anything anywhere because of the trees and the overgrowth. So let's carry on. So there's our parapet wall. What a lovely view for a working line this would have been. And there you go. So I'll just show you what that was like over there. There's a couple of original features I want to show you. We'll get to the end of this parapet wall here. This is where the siding was, but we've got this bit of original fencing there for your safety. Not that anybody would have been or should have been walking up here. It doesn't go all the way down, it just goes down to there. And then you can see how small that section of wall is at that side. So we're going to continue on. Our track bed's up that way. This looks like where this siding ended. Well, it is where it ended, just after this bridge. And we're going to continue on up there, and I'll show you what we come to next. I've not walked far, probably about 50 yards down there, but we can see already narrow track bed. And here is our next bridge. This one, I believe, goes over Brackenbed Lane. And again, it is a long way down. But what we'll do is, there's somebody been looking over here, so we've got that there. I can just show you how far down that is. There we go. And again, I will go down there and I'll show you this bridge from the underside. But while I'm up here, we'll just check everything that's here. And I'm constantly looking at the ground to see if there's any signs of coke from the fireboxes when they were cleaning them out. And this is the bridge at the other side. There's a bit of iron work there, which we'll be able to see that from below as well. And this side I may not be able to get to, but I will try. No, there's no access to the edge of that side. Meantime, we've got a beautiful old road there, footpath. Our track bed continues on. This is the bridge under Brackenbed Road, or Lane. It's huge and it's a busy road, so sorry about the traffic noise. You can see down here. Now what they've done is they've built it really wide. This is what you would call a narrow coach road, but they've future-proofed this one. Look how wide that is there. I mean, you can even see it widens up with that car just there. So built for the future, never lasted that long, and the road around it certainly never got widened. It's still an old coach lane. So stone, blue engineering brick, really wide. But what I noticed on the way down here was the nice ornate stone carvings at the end. But up there, we've got a wooden railway sleeper with the chair holes in. So it's probably from this line, and we'll move on to the next bridge. So the part of West Yorkshire I'm in is incredibly hilly, lots of valleys. There is loads of railway tunnels in this area, and that side you can see we've got a valley, and then back at this side here we're in a cutting, and we're already in a cutting at this side as well, straight through rock. I'm looking at them, I'm wondering if there's any drill holes or anything like that. If there is, they've probably got filled up with soil and got those shrubberies and trees starting to grow out of them. They've built a bit of a retaining wall at this side. You see that down there. And a piece of dry stone walling at that side, probably to support that rock that's above it. There's no other reason that they would have been done except for when the railways were here. Okay, I'll switch the camera off. If I see anything interesting, I'll turn it back on. As I'm walking down here, I've come across a few people that are walking the dogs up here. I'm still on the track bed, and it's clearly a popular walk because it's well trodden. Look at that behind me there. Now unfortunately, when a lot of these railways closed, there wasn't much future foresight going on. It's about saving money, trying to save British Rail. This one did die of a natural death, but even then there wasn't the foresight to save these railway lines as rights of way, because this is a really nice little walk, and I hope you can see that behind me and you're getting the feeling for that. You know, they built walls in there to support the railways, the embankments. That's got a series of walls in there. If I turn round, I'm hoping you can see those to support the cutting. Now I'm not certain why it was called the Halifax High Railway. I just think it was a name that was chosen. It might be considered high if you look at this. I mean, that side's an embankment, and this side here, oh, you won't be able to see that, but that side is a cutting right down there. Now it looks like I have to figure out where the track bed actually goes. I think it goes to a garden, and I think I might have to stop filming it there. Yeah, so I'm still on the track bed. Got some original fencing there as we approach another bridge. I think this one is Church Lane, pedestrians only. Now that there backs onto a private garden. There's somebody working in it, so I'm not going to be able to go through it anyway. But here I will try and get down there. It looks like there's a footpath around here, so I can come back and fill this bridge. And I believe this one was Church Lane, like I said. It was just a public footpath to access what was the mills on this side. You can see there's a pond down there. I don't know if that's just a flooded area or an old mill pond. So what I'll do is we'll go down, we'll have a look at this bridge, and then I'll go back to the car, we'll jump in it, and we'll pick the line up where we're allowed to walk on it again. There's our railway line going straight through their greenhouse, through their garden. But look at this bridge. We'll go down, we'll have a quick look at it. This is literally as close as I'm going to get, because that is so steep and all this is so wet and full of leaves that I cannot get down there without slipping. Now with it being cobbles like it is, I will do myself a mischief, and it will take ages for anybody to come and rescue me. But we can see that, a beautiful tall archway, and it's such a small bridge. Now I don't know what the thinking was of doing that, because normally they would do fairly small arches and just infill it with rubbish. So I can't imagine that being checked. Well, I don't know. Maybe they just dug it out and wanted lots of light through so that people felt safe. Any ideas on why they did this, or if it's just the architectural design of this line for uniform bridges all the way through, let me know. So where we left the track bed with the gardens is on the other side of this lot here, and our track bed is following that road more or less and then coming straight across here. That's one side of a bridge and that is the other side of the bridge. Here you can see the walls, that's the edge of the bridge, so the line would have gone across here. Now this has all been filled in and difficult to identify what's what, but this is definitely the bridge, and the track bed would have gone there. So we'll have a quick look down here. This is our first destroyed bridge that we've come across, but this line does have some really special features. Now that is where one of the pillars would have been. The line would have been across here, and then we've got another pillar there. Now we can see it there. This is where it would have been. We'll go all the way down the other side of this green lane. It's actually called Green Royd Lane. And we can see how the railway have built it up all the way down there. All the way to build this bridge, which is now gone. We still have some original ironwork up there. And this is where we shall pick up in the next video. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, share and subscribe. In the next one, part 3, we will be going from here, trying to get onto the track bed just there, because I don't think that's private land. And we're going to follow it all the way up to the next set of sidings. Now that next set of sidings is at Webster's Brewery. There is also a huge viaduct there and the entrance to a tunnel. So join me in the next episode. Till then, take care.